Welcome home.
The CEO and founder of HAHOMES, and also an author. Can you give a round of applause for him?
Est-ce qu'on passe la même position Abdullah? Il était ici aussi l'année passée et il a donné un très bel démonstration.
I'm going to go over to the next speaker with Mr. Hussain, of course.
There you go. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Hussain Abdullah. I'm a retired math teacher from New York City. Bought my first property with credit cards when I was 22. Again, simple math. The last 4 years, I've made just around 30 millionaires, all through real estate investing. And I started with real estate with $2,500 of my own money. I'm not a realtor, just a math teacher, applying practical math.
Give a round of applause for him. So the first question I have here, for instance, is what are the current trends, especially here in Dallas, in the real estate markets, and how do we impact property management and investment strategies? Do you want to add something on that?
Sure. Can you guys raise your hands again? We asked the question, who was a homeowner, who wasn't. If you're not currently a homeowner or you never bought a home, just show of hands, because I'm here to talk to y'all. Okay. So here goes what I might suggest. Interest rates are higher. Banks are tightening up because they're trying to hedge their risk. From 2022 to 2023, there was an increase in foreclosures, 113 or 115%. That's critical. But that presents opportunities for everyone in the crowd because now we have motivated sellers. You're gonna have people who got into mortgages that they couldn't afford because the interest rates were low. Maybe they had variable rates, or they put a little bit of money down, and now with inflation, they can't make their bills. Banks are basically throwing money at people because banks are making money. So I want you guys to take this opportunity and listen to what everybody in this panel is saying and say, how can I benefit from this? Now, I'm not saying that you should be proud about it, but there are going to be a lot of homes on the market, undervalued, that you're going to have access to. And this is a good opportunity to seize that moment. So one way to safeguard yourself, to answer Vindra's question, is you're going to have to make sure that you have a little bit more reserves in the bank. Mm-hmm. I personally don't keep money in a bank account. I don't. Why would I keep money in the bank and inflation's 7%? That means I'm losing 7% of my liquid assets. That doesn't make sense. So I keep my money in high yield and other things, not stock. I don't invest in stock. I don't put my money in a place where I can't control it. But what you guys need to do is make sure that you have money in the bank so that when these opportunities present themselves, you can jump on them. You need to educate yourself on lending and in the market and in industry. And that's basically what this panel is. It's everything you need to know about how to get in the game. And for myself, again, I'm an educator. Like, I happen to make money in real estate, but I don't like real estate. Like, it doesn't make me happy. Helping children, working with families, like, that's what makes me smile. So, we'll get into that with the Q&A. But you got $1 billion worth of game up here. When there's a Q&A, have your questions ready. I want to see people leave here ready to go 2, 3, 4, 5 steps closer to getting their first home, second home, third home, and so on.
Can I add my 2 cents to just what he said?
Of course.
Amazing. Thank you for that. If you guys are thinking about the fact that, hey, I may want these properties and it's an opportunity, but the rates are too high, don't dare think that. If I were in your position and I had an opportunity in front of me, I would pay 12% for that house. Because everyone around you who's not buying right now is thinking about waiting. Cash is king. If you have the cash right now, utilize it. Because there's gonna be 9 to 10 people in line for each person who thinks they can wait right now once those opportunities come. I would rather buy a house at a cheap price with a high rate than to buy a house that's expensive with a lower rate. Just my 2 cents.
I love that addition. Of course. You can go
I just
ahead.
want to echo this. You could Google this. The last 30
Okay,
years,
turn on your Google.
the last 40 years, the last 50 years. The average rate for home lending, if you want to look at 6% or better, is 70%. 2%, 3% is an anomaly. It never existed ever in the last 50 years. 6%, 7%, 8% is the norm. Take advantage of this. He's a lender. Put some money, let's make some money.
Let's make some money. Okay, the lady, she just, gave her a very, very important point for someone who is wondering here, how do I go about this? How do I start? And now speaking about the starting point, what was the starting point for you, Jeremiah? You want to share your personal story?
Sure, I said it briefly earlier, and I'll repeat it. I started investing in real estate with $2,500 of my own money. I bought my first house with credit cards. My favorite 3 letters, OPM. Y'all know OPM? Other people's money. Your kids all have OPM because y'all pay their bills. Let's try to get it as adults. I use banks to fund my whole life, and I pay 0 in income taxes. Let's talk about that. Oh, people are looking up now. Who here has a day job? Who has an employer? I'll say, do you have a job? Do you have a job? Yeah, okay, so come on. You guys go to work. You get a check. Do you pay taxes or do they take taxes? Okay, so now we could talk about structure so that you don't have to pay those taxes first. Let's think about it. If you made 60, 70, 80, 100 grand, we'll use 100 because it's a simple number. You make $100,000 a year, 25,000 goes out the door before you get a chance to even do anything with it. Now, what if you were in a situation to where you had that 25,000 in your pocket and you called the broker or you called Jeremiah, and because Yolanda's gonna call Naveed, so he can give you the money, she's gonna get you the property. And you were able to invest that money, and you were able to maximize the tax rules that the government has set in place because you're a real estate investor. And now you have a tremendous amount of tax deductions, even losses as a business owner. We could also talk about taking loans. I'm gonna give you one thing. If I right now have a property that I bought for $100,000 and I sell it for $200,000, I made $100,000 profit. I have to pay taxes. I don't do that. I get a $100,000 property. No, I will do 1031s. I got you. And I get an appraisal and I go see Naveed and he gives me 80 cents on the dollar. He gives me $160,000.
80% LTV.
Loan to value. I get back my 100 I started with, and I get $60,000 cash that I don't pay taxes on, because you don't pay taxes on a loan. Jeremiah said, get with a mentor. Get with somebody that's going to show you how to not only make money, but keep money and grow money. That's why y'all are here, to get this information. Take notes.
I love that. Get someone who's going to teach you how to make money, grow money, and
keep your money.
And keep your money. Clap for him. I mean, that was very informative. I didn't know about it. All right, and I'm going to hear from them earlier. They want to know what is so attractive about Dallas. What is one of the things that make Dallas an attractive city for real estate investment compared to other markets? I'm going to ask those people who live here around Texas. I think
So buy real estate.
Okay, all right, Hussain.
I literally am a part of the 200,000 people that came to Texas because of living. Like, I'm from Brooklyn. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but like, I get it. New York City's still the best city in the world. That being said,
But you're here.
I live here though because I like my money in my pocket. So I'd be paying 14 cents on every dollar I make if I lived in New York. So I moved my business to Texas and I saved 14% of all of my money. To speak to Dallas as a transplant, Why do I like Dallas? It's an established city. There's culture. The airport is right there. So I can come here and I can get a good dish. It's not always the same thing. There's shows, there's sports, there's entertainment. So I'm not gonna copy their answers. Like, I'm talking about as somebody why I came here. And the space, like, I just came back from New York on Monday. After Sunday, I just like, I hate New York. Even though it's the best place in the world, it's like, you know, you have like siblings, like you love them but you hate them. New York is dirty. I ain't gonna beat up New York, hold up. We still got good pizza though. But there's a lot going on in Dallas. It's enticing to a lot of other big cities. So you guys have boots on the ground and access to opportunities that people from afar don't get to take advantage of. So there's still so much land to develop. Like Jeremiah was saying, like, this is a great time to be in Texas. Take advantage of it.
I love it.
I would like to add one more thing.
Brings me now to my next question, which is very important. It's, you know, when it comes to networking, collaborations, new technologies. You see people come to events like this and they all sit there listening, but a lot of times we find out that, you know, people leave the place and nothing has been translated to a result. So what is your advice for these people who are sitting here? How can they go step by step into getting into, I know you guys all talked about how you started, but as networking or events like this change the direction of things for you guys? And if so, what is your advice for the audience? Okay, of course, go ahead.
So, when I was a teacher, I made a decent salary, again, adjusted for the cost of living in New York. And I came up with this concept, like at least I thought I did, where it was pooling funds together because I had access to deals in Texas. My first condo in Texas cost me $60,000. Closing costs on property in New York is $60,000. It's a joke, right? Like, that's not real money. Teachers and people make double, triple what people make here because of cost of living. Now, they're broke there, but think of it like a currency exchange. So advice that I could give everybody in this room, let's say Yolanda has a deal, but she goes, you get the best deal in the world if you have $20,000. Perhaps you don't have 20, but you have a network of people that you can say, can I get one, can I get two, can I get five, can I get four? And if you don't have that network, you need to look at yourself. Why aren't you in the room with people who have money and collective ideas like that? It's okay if you didn't have it yesterday, but today and moving forward, you need to figure that out if that's where you want to go. So they call it crowdfunding or, you know, community-based economics or whatever fancy term it is. It's basically pooling money. So if you can't do a deal by yourself now, find the connections and do that. It's one of the things my company used to offer on a small scale because that's how I started. And then people got returns and invested and so on and so forth. So my advice to everybody in the room who's not in the place where they want to be, the first thing that you have to do is take inventory. You have to set goals. Because to say you want to be a millionaire is not enough. First off, $1 million is not that much money. But how, why, to what end? You gotta have goals in order to have a plan. So you need to get those together. And if you don't have the funds, you have to invest in yourself. Education is basically free or cheap. So you gotta know what you wanna do, get your goals together, and then you gotta start developing skills and information to start attaining the things that you wanna do. And then to bring it back to Avengers' question full circle, then you gotta build up that network. Because if you came to me and said, I wanna learn from you, I'm definitely charging you. But if you came to me and said, I wanna learn from you and I don't have money, I say, all right, so what value can you add to my day? If you don't have skills, if you don't have a network, if you don't have then why am I exchanging my time with you? It's not a value to me. So you gotta make sure you're as valuable as possible if your funds aren't there. If your funds are there, like I said, let's make a deal.
Your network is your network. I think that was very valuable. Thank you so much.
I wanted to know, Did you think Florida would be better or Texas? I know it's a lot of research going to that. And then also, as far as the type of investments, like which one makes more money out of like maybe hotels, a commercial building?
Right. Yeah, I think the question was about where it's better to invest in between Florida and Texas, right? With hotels. Yeah.
It was two-part question, so yes, that was the first part, and the other one was out of hotels, commercial buildings,
Yes.
and apartment buildings. Which one
Yes.
would maybe generate more revenue?
Great question. I've never really been the person to actually give my clients the advice on which location to go to and whatnot, because obviously you have to do your own due diligence. But because I've had the pleasure of being in both states, it's all about what you really want, right? So let's say, for example, the crowds that go to Florida/Miami, you have a, let's just say, with all due respect, you have, people who are more.
It's a good thing. Don't be scared though, because there's property management companies that can
Yeah,
help you on
yeah.
that. So if you don't want to deal with the headache, hire a property manager. They will charge you a fee to manage your investment, but they'll take the headache out of your hand. So yes, it's true. What headache you want to deal with, but there are people for the headache. So that's great.
Very important. So guys, I know you guys are going to have all access to the speakers, so you can actually get more time to network with them. But just one last remarks from you, of course.
I'm gonna close on this. I'll tie it all up, I promise. So,
All right, go
Miss,
ahead.
I see she's taking notes. I just want to make sure. All right. So now look. Yeah, we can factor in property management, but we're gonna go into ROI, and I want to kind of respond to what Naveed said. Yes, $150,000 client is nice, but when that $150,000 client doesn't pay his rent, you got a $35,000 mortgage to pay. Not saying he's right, not wrong. I promise I'll get to my point. Them 20 people, Yolanda said, property manager. I don't know any of my tenants. It makes life too hard. If you have to evict somebody and you have a personal connection with them, it makes it very hard to do. But I always said my daughter can't eat favors. So moving forward, bring it back to ROI, return on investment. This is the simplest formula for ROI. Money in versus money out in what time? How fast am I gonna get my money back? So I wanna bring it back to your question. And those who follow me on Instagram, you'll see. I just bought a hotel, what was it, 10 days ago? I literally just bought a hotel, my first one. Me and my friends, real talk. They was we're buying a hotel. You know about management, do you want a hotel? I was yeah. You'll see it, you'll see the story. Can't make that up. So, I'd rather turn $1,000 into $2,000 than $100,000 into $120,000. Why? Because 100% is better than 20%. So any deal that you're looking at getting into, it's all ROI. How fast am I getting my money back? And you should leverage how much time you're gonna put in. At my stage of the game, 20 years in, I'm not investing in anything that takes my freedom. I'm solely passive right now. The hotel is passive. All right?
All right, you heard it. All right, you're also going to network with them just in case, okay?
I'm on all platforms as HAHOMES, HOMES, US.
Awesome so much, guys. Again, I'm your host, Ventura Dwyer. Thank you so much for being with us today. Over to you, Dancing. All right, have a good time.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you give them a big round of applause? So